Hey man, it's Thursday night. ATL Flag Football Podcast, and we are back in the building. Dwayne went live. He gave us all of a half a second notice.
Yeah, you heard something? Oh, well.
But anyway, man, it's your boy Low, man, and we back in the building. Of course, I got my man, Mr. 5-Star Sports himself, James Reese.
What up?
As we just completed week 3 of season 11 of 5-Star Sports 8-man flag football, the only 8-man flag football league in the ATL. How about that? I always like saying that. Kill all that other talk we've had so long. So, James, we got a lot to unpack. And we're doing this in a short period of time, guys. So y'all go ahead and chime in. Go ahead and tell everybody we live, we kicking, because we're not going to be here long. James has to get on the road in the morning, heading to VA. Dwayne has another podcast with youth football, the War Zone, as soon as we finish tonight. So we got a lot going on, man. But we're going to keep it moving and grooving. I don't even know. We didn't even talk about nothing I don't even know what happened, man, because there's always something going down.
The only thing that I wanted to briefly talk about
let's get it out.
Is the husband and wife, the murder, suicide.
The one was online?
The Facebook.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's never an excuse to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, you pushed him about as far as you could push him. And then stood there, like, you got to get up out of there. I mean, first you got to stop. You know who you're dealing with. But to push him to that brink and then just stay around as if it's not going to happen. You sitting there telling secrets about how the man had killed somebody else. How the man was setting people up to do them greasy. You not think that he would do that to you? Especially when you telling it?
Especially when you telling it.
And then the moment you said, Obi's name, he told you go die.
Hey, the minute you said it.
You know? I just think that, it's just not worth it, people. And I'm not blaming her. But, she did play a part in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think she should have better recognized her situation, who she was dealing with, and all of that. And then, her little ghetto gossip friend that was on the phone instigating it. We got to do better, people. Yeah, we just got to do better. Life is precious now. Your children are left without either parent. And, I saw one of the interviews with the mother saying that, they're going to need therapy, which they are, and imagine if they see that, that can be traumatic. So,
Facts.
and then, the grandparents, like, is her parents going to hate the kids because it was him? It's just a lot unpacked in that situation, and it was sorry. It was very tragic, but it was senseless. It didn't have to happen, and we can't put ourselves in situations where we push somebody that far to the edge, and to lose your life over. Just leave them.
And they apparently had a history of violence in the relationship, So obviously she must be was immune to it, because the stuff that they said was going on was pretty severe.
Oh, it was extremely severe.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It was nasty.
Yeah.
It was, but I just think after she put out that stuff about, him setting the boy up to rob him killing the boy, and all of that, I just think he felt like living that type of life, what the repercussions all of a sudden now going to be.
He knew it was going to be repercussions after that.
So it's like, hey, well, since I'm going to go out of here, let me go ahead and get you out of here for doing it.
Yeah.
And I just think we just got to be more aware, because that was senseless.
Well, the one thing we know for sure is mental health is real. Yes. People can laugh about it, put it aside, disregard it, but mental health is real. And everybody has a breaking point. And no one knows what that breaking point is for any individual. There's things that make people break that people are like, man, I can't believe, but you just don't know what that person was going through. You don't know their temperament. You don't know their past trauma. There's a lot of things we don't know. And there's, even for the female, because some females don't believe a man don't love them unless the man is willing to choke her out or something, you know what I mean? But they don't think you love them unless you're willing to be violent with them, and I think that's a mental illness. You know what I mean? If somebody got to slap you for you realize make you feel like he loves you, you know what I mean? But that's trauma. That's past trauma that people don't get over, I didn't, for those that know me for a long time, I used to own a little nightclub next to my comedy club called, once was called, that had Dancers Elite, and then Stilettos, and while owning that club, man, I learned more about the women's female trauma, of what leads them to certain things, and what led a lot of them to the strip club, to work there. I literally have watched 3 generations of family members, from grandmama, daughter to granddaughter, working in the club environment. You know what I mean? So it's just it's very interesting, man. Family trauma, but
Very sad.
it is indeed, man. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up real quick, and we're gonna go right to flag football after this. Oh snap, Flip in the building. It looks like another one of our black, I don't know if we call them heroes or black, what do we call the people, black entertainers? Let's go with entertainers.
Woo!
Is in the news for
What's going on? What's happening?
One Mr. Tyler Perry is being sued by an act, sexual something else, like 3 different ones. I'm just gonna get my immediate take is as it is for the Diddy, for the comes back. Flip, women get sexual harassed on a regular basis. Harassed. You know what I mean? And understanding that I feel a little bit differently with a man. Yeah, I mean, how you respond to it. You know, a woman might say,
it's a lot on her mind.
well, I don't know the problem with one after the fact and want to never any no one it goes right to suing. I feel like there had to be some kind of threat. If you don't do, I'm going to talk. You know what I mean?
And the other issue, have you seen the text messages?
I've seen this.
See anything in the text message? They're like a old decent regular conversation.
Yeah.
I just did not see what there was to talk about. And you know, again, as you said, where's if you were wronged, why not go to the police?
Immediately.
Why not go to the police? Even if it's not immediate, why are you going to the court with the burden of proof is just if I like you or not, versus the police with the burden of proof is you got to prove this happened. You know, and that's all lawsuits are at this point now, just the court of public opinion.
Somebody asked me today, having this conversation, and they said, but what if it was you and Tyler Perry said to you, man, you sure look good in them jeans? my response was, I'd be like, all right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it, dog.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lose I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Now, it's a different story if the other part of the story is true and you sleep and you wake up and he rubbing your leg.
Oh, no.
Now, this is a whole, hey, now this is a whole other conversation.
Yeah, the whole
well, it really
story.
it ain't a conversation at this point. You know what I mean?
Nope.
We come in swinging and there's no...
You gonna read about it in the newspaper. Such jumped on Tyler Perry. And that's all you gonna know in the beginning.
That's all you gonna know in the
That's
beginning.
all you gonna know in the beginning until you get my side of the story. Until then, just know he got popped.
Hey,
Like,
facts.
there ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I'm not waiting 6 years. I'm not waiting 6 months.
Bruh.
I'm not waiting 6 minutes.
Going down.
If 6 seconds go by, I'm questioning myself already. So,
Yeah.
nah, I just don't understand how people do wait so long. I understand certain situations for some people, man, but like you said, a male, you got to address that situation right then and there. Especially if you feel uncomfortable. Like, it's easy, man, it's hard, you know how easy it is to be like, hey, man, you in my bubble. Back up, bro. That's easy.
Real
So you
simple.
can stay there at the grocery store. Somebody standing close to you in the line and you don't feel comfortable. Hey, excuse me. Do you mind backing up off me for a little bit? Now, it might cause some other type of friction, but at the same time, like, I didn't say what I said.
Right.
So we know it shouldn't go no farther because I already told you I don't feel comfortable.
And if it's not an issue, why make? If that's not the case, oh my bad, bro. I'm sorry. I'm backing up.
Yeah.
It's not a serious. But yeah, I think that was just again a money grab, and hopefully that
I don't understand that.
it comes out. And I think they're also taking advantage of, like, you gotta be careful because I don't want to get canceled. But we know for a fact that there were some women that took advantage of the Me Too movement that were not involved. I think this is a situation where people are now taking advantage of I'm a Sue 2 situation because of the climate we're living in. And I just think, the court system's going to have to do a better job at filtering out the foolery.
But how is that what I don't understand is how can you go get money from somebody for doing something to you that you never said nothing about? Like at the same time, like it's illegal. So how do you go for the money part before you go for the justice part?
Especially when you're saying, I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't live with somebody else had to experience it. If you really felt that way, then go press charges.
Like, and you want somebody else to do that?
Right.
You want somebody else to go do that?
Yeah.
And then they come on TV and they be like, well, I just hope I helped out the next person. What about all the people that you missed and you could have been did it when the first time when you said, hey, I'm not feeling comfortable?
Yeah.
The second time is already, hey, look, hey, I done told him one time, I done told him 2 times. He ain't getting the point. Next time you do it, I'm calling the police. Next time you do it, I'm doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next time I'm calling my brothers. Next time I'm calling my homies. Next time, like...
Yeah. If it was real.
Like...
100%. I'm like, you could have... If you want to sue now, why did you didn't sue then? If you said that man right on your leg, there go your lawsuit. Why didn't you sue it? No, you took the job.
You took the job.
You continue to work. You worked for 2-3 years. What are we talking about? How is this a conversation? I just don't understand how they allowed them to get away with that BS, man, in courts. But
I don't understand it.
It's terrible.
That money.
That money. Yes, sir. All right, man. So, season 3, James. Season 11, week 3 completed. Some interesting games.
Yeah.
Some interesting games out there, Flip.
You know what?
It was a whole.
It was a lot of interesting games.
It was a lot. It was a lot of conversation going into the week.
Before we start, everybody has an opinion. If you don't agree with mine, you have that right. Mm-hmm. But I'm just gonna say what I thought. Everybody has an opinion. You disagreeing with me is your opinion, and you have that right. And me disagreeing with you is my opinion, and I have that right. So with that being said, we go get into the disagreements. Now let's start over in the comp division. Well, we opened up the day with the Raiders at the Swamp Bucks.
Okay.
The panel took the Raiders. Now some people are going to benefit from the fact that I have to get on the road at 6 a.m. so I won't have a chance to do my usual build-up and drawn-out situation. So let's just say during this game, I told the referee the paint has dried, and I went over to Carver. So Raiders took this one 25-0.
Now I'd like to see here.
You guys all took the Raiders. Moving right along.
Goose bottles.
In the next game of the day, we had TYB at Zoo Atlanta. Angelo took Zoo Atlanta. Billy and Dwayne took TYB, giving them their second win of the season.
Okay.
Yes, sure did. Yes. I have a new system this year, so you picked it.
Ain't no tally marks now.
We had one with me writing it down, can't find it in the paper. It's right here. So the final score in that game was TYB did not get their second win of the season. Let's just start and say that.
Okay.
So Billy, you and Dwayne were off on that. I'm trying to get this up, but like I said, Angelo said, Dwayne gave us like a half a second. So we weren't even good and ready to start. Okay, Daryl. Zoo. Tap in, Zoo. Y'all, so Zoo has Zoo in it. Zoo got a few more wins than we thought they was gonna have at this point in the season. Shout out to Zoo. So they took that game 12-0. The next game you had Zoo versus the Crew. We all figured. Well, you guys all picked the Crew. Veteran team. It's Zoo. We don't expect much from them.
Yeah.
I guess Sydney said that's what you get from not expecting much from me. Zoo beat the Crew.
2-0?
Hey, for real?
There was a crucial interception thrown in that game. There was an extra point that was missed in that game. And Zoo took that 8-7.
Oh.
Wow.
So Zoo went 2-0, I think, for first time in the
I'm sure.
league, and the Crew took a 2-0 loss for the day.
Wow.
0-2 loss for the day.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm sorry.
That's their first one so far. Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
first loss. Sydney got 2 wins. The next game
All right, Zoo.
is TYB at the Crew. You guys picked TYB to go 2-0. I mean, the Crew to go 2-0. So you didn't pick TYB in this game.
That was probably a mistake right there. I was thinking 2-0, but go ahead.
And it was the mistake. You saying that was a mistake? Thinking TYB was gonna go 0-2, correct?
No, not quite what I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't a mistake. The Crew won 7-0.
Okay.
TYB did go 0-2. I think a little frustration may be setting in over there because I'm not seeing what I saw to start the season. I saw promise in week 1. I saw potential in week 2. I just see players.
So right now they're 1-5, right?
Yes.
So technically they've lost 15 straight. That frustration will definitely sit in.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, 15 straight.
Immediately.
Because the one win they got, we know how they got it. So, 15 straight. That'll make frustration set in.
So the next game we had was DOA.
Yeah, man. Zoo got 2 wins, man.
And PNF. You had the mighty PNF coming in at 4-0, running the show. Mm-hmm. You had DOA.
Not just 4-0, but not scored on.
Not scored on.
4-0.
Haven't even touched them.
Yeah, that's different.
You got DOA feeling like the forgotten child because they just did come off of a 9-1 record. I heard that they was replaying the podcast, watching it over and over again because, they felt like they were slighted.
Disrespect.
And so their goal was to go out there and make somebody know it.
Put some respect on their name. Huh?
We still had PNF and that offensive scoring machine and that unmovable defense.
Vaunted defense.
So it was a close game, though. DOA put up a good fight. Unfortunately, the score was in that game 7-6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
7-6 who?
7-6 DOA. So DOA made it be known that they did not appreciate Billy and Dwayne for picking PNF. So Billy, you and Dwayne took a loss on that.
7-6.
Billy and
close.
Dwayne.
7-6 is close though.
It
That's
was close. It was close. It was close.
Wee.
So PNF got scored on for the first time and took the first L.
Yeah,
that's a hard pill to swallow right there one time. All at once.
All at once.
All at once.
Man. And was it a game? Was it at the end of the game score?
Huh?
Was it like the last play of the game score?
I don't remember. I wasn't there. I didn't get that. But
hey.
DOA was on a mission. The next game was United at DOA. Angelo, you and Dwayne took United. Billy went out on a limb by himself and took DOA. DOA said this game was specifically because you guys picked United. And they wanted to make sure United knew that they were no match against them. And the score of 19-0 reflected their statements. So, I did some talking. I heard it was 12-0 before they even unpacked their chairs. And so DOA came out on a mission on Sunday, and I think they achieved it. They went 2-0, and they put a stamp on that they're still relevant in the comp division.
And let me say, I said I was going to make a point last season to start watching these games so I could better talk about them. And I did watch. Me and Dwayne actually watched most of these games the other night, sitting up here at the club. And, yeah, DOA came out to play ball, man. DOA came out. That first game, the PNF game, came down to the end. And DOA held them off. But the second that game, United was United just that offense didn't look fluid at all. It didn't look fluid at all. And I don't know if that's the regular system or not, but it just didn't look fluid at all.
So what I think, I've seen clips. I didn't get a chance to watch the full games like I do. I just want to see one quarterback. I want to see you win with them or lose with them.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see you lose with 3 or 4 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? If you lose the game with one quarterback, you can point to areas of mistakes. If you lose the game with 3 quarterbacks,
What is how they play as well. You know what I mean? Like flip, like y'all can play with 2-3 different quarterbacks, but the way it's the way your system runs. The way it just didn't seem fluid. You know what I mean? Watching that game, it just didn't seem fluid at all.
You're right, because the 3 different quarterbacks don't have a chemistry
At all.
When you see OC, and
it's different. Yeah,
It looked different.
it's a different personnel and everything.
They all flowing off of each other. KT hit it to NO going down the field. KT hit it to NO throw it back across OC can take off and run. They don't run a 3-quarterback system. They just have 3 quarterbacks in playing at different times. And they all play differently. Totally. And I just feel like that's hard for the team to be able to know what to expect on a consistent basis when they run in. And it's not even like a situation where you had in Saints where they would bring in old boy Taysom
Hill.
Because Taysom had his own style. You knew what Taysom was about to do. You know what I'm saying? So they're still a good team. They still have the talent, but I need to see them ride or die with one person at the helm. Yeah. And that's just my take on it. Next up, we have the game of the week. We had PNF in the win for the comp. It's simple. Okay. The game of the week, we had PNF and United. United and PNF both come into this game with a loss under their belt, a surprising loss because I think both teams did not expect to lose the game prior, nor did they expect to lose the way they did. The panel picked PNF. United, you only got one win that week, and this wasn't the one. Well, according to the final score on this game, you guys all were correct. If you had picked United, but you didn't. So you picked PNF, so you all took a loss. This was a tight game. United won this one 7-6.
Yeah.
This was a surprise, not that United won, that PNF went 0-2.
0-2.
That was a shocker.
I mean, if you score on PNF, you got a chance of beating them. That's what it sounded like.
You know?
You just got to score.
You got to score.
All you got to do is score and make your extra point. Because
definitely make your extra point because both games been 6.
Both of PNF losses lost by 1 point because they didn't make the extra point. So
feel your pain, fellas.
Well,
feel your pain,
we
fellas.
can say
What?
we remember those.
Feel your pain.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of games coming down the field goal.
Yes, sir.
A lot of games. So with that being said, we'll move on over to ESPN1 now that we was on ESPNU.
Here we
Not
go.
2U.
Here we go.
But PNF 0-2 for the day. Interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy, PNF. What y'all got going on?
I'm pretty sure Mike has put them in the room and laid into them and got them together. I expect to see something different this week. I expect to see something different this week because that's not the brand of football that I believe Mike has taken his team to come to play.
So how do we fare in the comp division rankings?
In the comp
and
division
picks
right
though?
there. So you had 1, 2, 3. So you lost 3 and you won 1, 2, 3, 4. So you were 4-3. Billy was 1, 2, 3, 4. Billy was 3-4, and Dwayne was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, Dwayne didn't show up. He was like PNF. He was 2 and 5.
All right, so I lead the comp at least one up on Billy and several up on Dwayne. All right, that's all I make sure of.
Yeah, them games hard to pick over them, man. Any given Sunday for real.
Yeah.
So moving on over to Carver, we opened the day up with Smoke at Predators.
Okay. Good game.
Yeah. Ooh. Collar a little tight. Let me unbutton it. I'm getting choked.
Uh-oh.
Let me loosen up my butt. I'm choking right now. smoke kind of thick.
Weed smoke kind of
Get
thick.
choked.
That smoke.
Yeah.
That smoke.
Yeah, that smoke choking me.
Oh.
Let me get this air. Blow this fan so the smoke is choking me. Can't breathe.
Talk to me, CJ.
So, I'm not sure what was going on in this game, but Smoke had a point to prove on this scoreboard with the 18-0 donut. That's not what I expected from Predators. You guys picked, you and Dwayne picked Smoke, Billy picked Predators, but I wasn't expecting the 18-0 blowout.
Reader.
I can't even. I think anybody would be remiss to sit here and think that that's what they thought.
They had everybody?
Yeah,
It's Father's Day, so you know, I'm gonna make sure.
They had everybody. Well, they had the key player. Billy was there. Arnold was there.
Well, keep in
Kez and Juan
keep in
was
mind,
there.
but Gio wasn't there.
Oh yeah, right. And Gio was not there.
Gio was not there.
18 points?
He lost 18
They
0.
had Strick playing quarterback.
Strick put up 18 on them boys.
So
Strick.
First, if I'm not mistaken, Billy said they had a pick six, like first play of the game, early in the game as well.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
So yeah,
Strick got that carving y'all boys up.
And then so moving right along swiftly, because there was not a lot to talk about there. The next game we had on the schedule was Shockwave and Smoke.
What we got here?
I think this game produced deja vu for later on in the season.
How about-
Later on in the day.
How about that?
But Dwayne, you and Angelo picked Shockwave. Billy, you picked Smoke.
Did he now? Billy 0-2 so far in the pro.
So yeah. So I heard that Smoke had you on the ropes.
Ropey dope.
And, the sun was setting. Then somebody decided to bring a kick out of the end zone that shouldn't have been brought out or something. On the onside?
They scored the first touchdown off of basically a blown play. It was supposed to have been they was going for the field goal. The snap was high. Our man on the corner was right there to block it. So Lou picked it up, and we missed a sack on him. He just threw it back to the back of the end zone, and the big lineman Mossed one of our guys in the end zone. I mean, so that's how they end up scoring the first touchdown. The second touchdown was hot garbage. We had an interception. Their quarterback did one of the famous LeBron flop. Dre threw the penalty on it, which took away our interception.
Yeah.
I challenged the play, and Ed said he came in with open hands. It wasn't a good call. Kurt said he didn't see it, which is cool because the back judge sees that play, and whatever you watching anyway. You know what I mean? You'd have missed something. So, certain plays you understand why everybody don't see it because, you know what I mean?
At least you try to be. You try.
Yeah. But Dre stuck with his story, but Dre's version of it was T.O. lowered his shoulder, right? First, and then came with the hands.
So that's already a foul then, right?
Yes.
Oh, the shoulders are already lit.
Supposedly. But I asked the ref, can you tell me what you saw though? How was it? And he said, well, he came with his hands first, low, and then he did his shoulder. And I said, well, Dre, that's impossible. How you do this and this, but leave with your shoulder? Is not physically possible to do both. If your hands came first, your hands came first. So, but somehow, how the refs are sometimes, they don't want to change because they feel challenged.
Yeah.
And he's trying to stick with it. And naturally, as soon as they saw the film, and, but to Dre's credit, he did come back and say, "Lo, my bad." Came back at the end of the game. At the end of the game, and say, my bad.
I appreciate it, but
But you know what I mean? That could have changed the whole game.
yeah.
So they up 12-zip. We score. We got the ball back. I mean, we score. Because we had the ball. Like, 3 minutes left in the game? Something like that. 3. No, I'm saying when we first got it back, it was like 3 minutes. Like 3-something in the game. Okay. We score. For the second time of the season, my kicker was there. He kicked the perfect deep ball. It hung high enough. But it was caught at the 2-yard line. So, you know.
Somebody caught the ball at the 2-yard line?
At the 2-yard
Wait.
line.
Somebody caught the ball.
At the 2-yard line.
On the 2-yard line.
Ball caught at the 2-yard line. So we swallow that up real quick. You know what I mean? And get the ball back.
Yeah.
And, so then we score for the walk-away. You know what I mean? We score for the walk-away touchdown. Ball game. Two scores, 3 minutes.
That's definitely giving me deja vu.
And we thought we did something for 2 scores in 3 minutes until we hear about stuff later on in the day. But
2 scores in 3 minutes. That's a really impressive feat.
At the moment, it was very impressive.
2 scores in 3 minutes?
Hey.
Where would that have? That probably won't happen again.
Probably won't happen again, right?
Where they do that at?
Wow.
Where they do that at?
So the next game we have Predators at Rare Form.
Okay, defense.
The entire panel picked Predators. The score was 6-3 Predators. As I've said before, I'll continue to say it. I think Rare Form's defense is pretty solid. They just struggle with the offense. And until they can put up at least 12 to 14 points a game, it's going to be a battle.
Man, at this point, 3 field goals win you a game. Man,
In this one, yes, but
nobody didn't put up more than 6 points.
But that's 3 field goals is 6 offensive possessions. 3 offensive possessions inside of at least the 30.
Dink, dump, dink, dump, dink, dump. 4th down, kick the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But that means you got to get inside you probably got to get inside to get to the 20 at least.
Can't find a quarterback. It's easier to find a kicker. You can go to any park in Atlanta and find a kicker.
Yeah, but
look here,
you got to get within kicking
quarterback.
What's Ash's distance? What's Ash distance? Where you got to get to?
I would say comfortably about the 30, 35.
Okay, and I think
he's pretty comfortable.
Billy,
right
if you get within the 25 to 30,
But your defense is getting sacks, getting turnovers, getting interceptions.
There. That's the point. You're getting there.
Man.
With them, they're not getting there.
A punt get you
because
to the 50.
Because they have a kicker. They're just not getting there. Now, granted, this particular Sunday, their main quarterback was not there, and they had to turn back the hands of time. Just didn't turn them back far enough. And it didn't work. Now, I did see something in the defense that Shockwave was playing, and I said, they should do this. They should do that. And they didn't quite do it until finally at one point in the game they did it and got a touchdown. And then, of course, you realize when it's too late, probably should have did it sooner. But nonetheless, the 16.
Wait a minute, who you talking about? I'll respond to that. Go ahead.
Next, we have Rare Form Shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I was talking about in this game. It was something that I was telling them, I was moving into that game, that they did towards the end of the game that worked, but it was too late. This game was 14-6. And again, you need 2 scores at minimum to at least push it to overtime.
Yeah.
So that you can, overtime is 50-50. Everybody going from, one play inside, it's easier to win. But if you can't even get to overtime, it's going to be a struggle. So, but really not a lot to see there. 14-6, moving around.
Yeah, that's supposed to be an interception. I mean, Charles was under the weather Sunday, and you could tell he wasn't moving hardly anywhere. Because he broke on the Bible man.
Granted, that was supposed to be an interception.
Yeah, okay.
But there was a poorly thrown ball. Because if he puts more air on that ball, it's over top of Charles. and there's nothing but daylight in front of him. So because Charles missed it, that's what gave him the daylight to run because nobody was catching him. So, but again, it wasn't the regular quarterback. I'm pretty sure if KJ was there, that ball would have been much higher and probably a more easier touchdown. But again, it was only one. And we need at least 2 with some extra points to win games on a consistent basis. The next game was the game of the week. This was a shocker. 22-0 YB over Outcast.
Outsiders, man.
Outsiders.
I mean, YB over Outsiders.
22-0.
22-0.
Dwayne, you and Angelo picked YB. Billy picked Outsiders.
Hey, Billy, you over so far.
God,
I mean, he picked Shockwave and Predators. So
what
he
you got going on?
No, he beat Predator over Shotwave.
No, I'm saying he picked the rare form games.
Oh, he got
correct.
one game.
Both rare form
He
games.
won for.
He 2 for 4 right now. 2 or 3.
He going
You know, I guess the Outsiders were still asleep, hadn't woke up. You know, maybe they were feeling a little bit too confident at that moment, but whatever, it wasn't working. 22.
Well, I'm sure that was the semifinal game of the playoffs, and Outsiders knocked them off, and I think they shut out YB in the playoff game. So I'm pretty sure that was probably still stinging YB a little bit. So they probably had something to prove right there. 22-0 though. Oof.
Yeah.
No effort.
So then the next game we have Outsiders and New Jack.
Okay.
The panel picked New Jack.
We play Outsiders first?
Yes.
Nah, we didn't play Outsiders
I'm
first.
sorry. The next game is YB and New Jack.
Yeah.
The panel picked New Jack. Now, everybody has opinions, like I said before, and this is mine. YB lost this game, period, point blank. And New Jack did what they needed to do to score to win the game. But YB lost this game. There were 2 critical moments in the game that YB could have done one of 2 things that would have prevented New Jack from being in a position to win the game. The first one was when, because this was what? Less than, it was like a minute, maybe a minute and 15, 20 seconds. All the quarterback had to do was run the ball twice, run the timeout. Okay? When they finally have to punt,
3 straight throws.
New Jack gets the ball with, I want to say less than 30 seconds.
27 seconds.
At 27 seconds, down 14-0. But
115
the
down
same
14.
way-
So that means they didn't burn any. Did y'all have timeout still? So they didn't burn no timeout.
no,
3
they,
straight.
they
throws.
did
Nope.
with the incomplete passes.
Yeah, that's how we got our
That's what I'm
This
saying.
goes
You never
back
use no time.
to what we saw last season when Brady had LOZ on the ropes, first and goal. I mean, first down with less than a minute left, and he throws 3 straight incompletions when you just run the ball 3 times and game is over. Okay, so that's the first mistake.
Big mistake.
YB capitalizes off of that one with
New Jack capitalized.
New Jack capitalized and scored.
First play.
How was the first? Was that the bomb?
No, that was the slant to Keaton.
Okay, that was the slant to Keithon. Okay, bam.
Yeah.
So now New Jack does the onside kick.
What yard line? You said y'all was on?
And-
You called it the 2? Not the 2. He didn't catch that ball at the 2.
When OC lined up and kicked the ball, I was like, he probably didn't mean to kick it that hard.
Yeah, 'cause
He
remember I
kicked
was
it
trying to tell him-
extremely high.
Well, we were
which
trying to
was-
figure out the rule at first, remember?
I remember.
I was trying to tell him the rule because I'm thinking the rule is if it goes in the end zone, it's an automatically our ball because the touchback.
Yeah, he did. He came
So
to me.
I'm thinking
and
that.
asked.
So I'm telling Ozu to boot it, get it to the end zone. It has to go past the 20. Not on the 20, past the 20. Like literally right before OC kicks the ball, James tells me that's not the rule.
Yeah, it
That's not. It has to go. He has to get it to the 20. So
To
if
the
it goes
20.
in the end zone, I say. So if it goes in the end zone, is they ball? He says they ball.
It's they
As
ball.
I'm turning around. OG's doing
he
this.
lets out a boom.
Yeah.
And it's high.
Oh my
So when I
goodness.
see how high it is, I'm like, there's no possible chance for a return on this. Because whenever it comes down, they're going to be there. But then somebody decided to feel the punt. I mean, the kickoff.
Right.
That would have flown to the bathroom, probably. And runs for what, about 5-6 yards, maybe? And then gives you the ball back. If you let the ball go through the end zone, the game is over. There's not another chance for New Back to. Only thing he can do is look at the ball.
27 seconds.
The only thing they can do is look
27
at the
seconds
ball.
left in the game.
New Jack's gonna. I mean, YB just takes the snap, kneeled it, walk away with the win.
Walk away. It's theirs.
Well, that's not what happens. So now they have a turnover on. They have the ball back. They get it to YB. I mean, New Jack. And this is the play where I scratched my head at the defense that Trey played, because Trey's a great defender. But you know New Jack is going to the end zone. Plain and simple. They have to go to the end zone because they don't have time to waste on a play.
Right.
And he walks down on Miko because he know they're going to Miko. So he walks down on him. And I feel like if you don't slip, maybe you have a chance. But he slips. And you can't slip against Miko. You ain't making up that speed. But because they have to go to the end zone, I'm not walking down on them anyway. You just go ahead to catch and beat me over the top. That doesn't happen. Miko scores. Now the score is 14-12.
Yep. Guess what I say?
How much time left at this point?
15 seconds.
God, dog.
You know what I say? We're doing onside kick again.
And Flip does an onside kick again.
We're doing an onside
And this
kick
ain't know
again.
the rules.
Oh, I know the rules this time. All you gotta do is get it right here. You get it right here, we're good. Get it right there.
They do it again and get the ball back. They do the double quarterback pass.
Yep.
It's not there. He takes off and runs. They runs over and pins him. About to go out of bounds. At this point, I don't even know if there's gonna be any time left. So I'm like, dang, why you running out of bounds?
Before we get to that play, though, on the onside kick, isn't it strategically you have to make sure that you have the right personnel
Yes.
back deep?
Yes.
It has to be the right personnel.
They do.
They have to be explosive.
Yeah.
I don't care how good of an ass. I don't care about, hey, if it ain't the right personnel.
On both
Not
sides.
only do
On
you
both
have-
sides.
Not only-
Because you gotta have a person
and
that's
not
going
only
to
do you
pull the
have to have the
flag.
right personnel, you have to have the right blockers.
That part too.
Oh, we.
You have to have the right blockers.
And know who to slow down
Not-
on that coming
I
down.
ain't even gonna lie.
Hey, you got two people you need to hit.
And
Hit them.
there's no disrespect, because I don't get to watch him particularly as often. I didn't know Mont was that good of a blocker. There was one play where they threw that ball to man on the side, and Mont was just controlling y'all whole team. Run behind me, boom, boom, boom.
that was on-
Run behind
yeah.
me.
Mont
boom.
a beast
I'm
on the
like,
football
good
field,
Lord, he
period.
was just
Yeah.
dogging them out
On both sides of the ball, mine are different.
Shout
Ain't no
out to
question.
Mont, because I ain't never seen you do all that, Mont.
that was
My
nasty.
bad. I ain't doubting you, but I just ain't never seen it. That was some hell of a blocking on Sunday. But again, you need those two elements. You got to have the blockers to make sure he can get to the 20, and you got to have the people with the speed to get to the 20.
Facts.
That didn't quite happen on that play.
And like he said, was getting ready to go out of bounds with the
He
ball.
was, literally,
Like, he
he
literally
almost
was
had
going out
one
of bounds
foot
like
touching
this.
the ground.
And he turns
And
around
tosses it back in.
and throws the
And
ball
I
back in
think
bounds.
in the team's mind, he was going out of bounds, so they did not pursue in the way that they should have pursued. But the New Jack players didn't care. They were going to run
Here comes fast ass Javion.
Javion.
and hit Javion, and he snatched it, and that was all she wrote.
Inscribed.
18 points in a minute.
That's crazy.
Minute 15.
Yeah, I mean, when he was going out of bounds, he went out of bounds, and the defender sold out to him going out of bounds. You know what I mean? He
Yes.
sold out. And so that means everything else is vulnerable, like you said. But how the entire team is not pursuing is bananas.
It's banana. And I'm running down the sideline to the whole play, so it's like...
Especially because New Jack is a pitching team. I mean, as a matter of fact, that's how they
Immediately.
got their first interception. On one pitch too many. You know?
Yeah.
They pitched it one more time and they got it.
Yep.
So to not pursue in that situation,
Game on the
knowing
line.
that the only thing that could beat you at that point.
12 seconds. Jeez.
But it was a good game. God knows it was a good comeback. Well, it was a good comeback, not a good game, because they dominated y'all most of the game. But it was a good comeback in that last minute and something second.
They did their job up until that minute 15 mark.
They did.
They did their job.
And
They did that.
You know, but also we want to send out some get well to Man with the broken fibula and the other
Nano.
guy, Lano, that messed up his knee. I think it was dislocated. I was told.
I know somebody broke a fibula and then somebody dislocated. I don't know.
Yeah, Man broke the fibula. So down. Shout out Preston.
Yeah, man,
Hope they
for sure.
recover well.
For sure.
Man.
That's
yeah.
a big injury there, man.
Very big injury.
And Man's had, he's had a couple big injuries, man. But this, but to see that jump, it was that was nasty.
And also, shout out to the return of Lee. That was the first time Nuke Lee
Yeah,
played in a long time.
I'm glad we can get
And he
you
was
off
able to
that
get back
couch,
out
my
on the
boy.
field. So shout out to the return of Nuke. And, I guess we're going to have to see a little bit more Nuke for the rest of the season to move over.
Yeah, they're going to need him. They're going to need him. You got to step up for the man.
So,
Ooh.
you guys snatched victory from the jaws of defeat because you definitely had picked New Jack on that one. Yeah. Then in the next game, we had New Jack and Outsiders. You guys once again went with New Jack, which was I think that was a safe bet if we were betting.
Yeah.
But Outsiders said, not so fast. We still coming to play. And I think after that beat down that YB put on them, they decided that we need to get it together. Maybe
crazy.
we need to listen to our coach and stop running our own plays.
This game was the chat of the week on the page.
Oh, this-
There was
this-
video.
oh, yeah.
It was all kinds of
This
conversation.
was the back.
This was back and forth
Back and
all
forth,
week.
all week.
All week.
But now, prior to that game that morning at Thero, I had a conversation with Miko. And I told Miko a couple teams that I thought that matched up well against New Jack that could possibly beat them. YB was one. Gas was another team that I felt could match up.
But we showed you what happened with that.
Well,
But we
they
showed
were
you.
in the game. They messed up.
They scored
And
3
then,
points. They scored 3
they
points.
imploded.
They scored 3 points.
You're right.
There's
right.
no way to even keep them in our boundary at that moment. They not in that boundary. 3 points is not in our boundary.
And Outsiders was the other.
Okay.
I felt like their wide receivers and DBs were good enough to keep them in the game. I felt like they were good enough to keep them in the game.
They did that.
And so it was a good game, back and forth. It was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the game, it was a lot of deja vu. It was a point where you could just run the ball. And the clock runs out. And the game is over. But
3 straight passes.
hero ball. And that's what I call it. When you're trying to be the hero.
3 straight
Which
passes.
is crazy because, but
You just saw it that morning. What happened?
and not
You
just
hear
seeing
the
it,
coach- not-
but the athleticism that they have at the quarterback position is not like no disrespect to Trey. Trey is a great athlete, great arm, but he's not running like that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he actually ran a lot in our game.
no, he can
which is
run.
crazy.
I'm just saying, but this kid from outside,
He's. I'm not
what I
trying to
mean?
let him get on his horse.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. His running ability is different from Trey's running
Yes.
ability. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
So that was strange. To me.
3
But-
straight drop back.
But before they got to that point, though, what did you see though in terms of their offense that they was able to score on you guys? I mean,
a lot of
and then what did you see from their defense that?
broken plays on offense is what got them. Once you miss a flag, like you say, he gets on the outside of the pocket. He sees the whole entire field, and he knows where his 2 safety blankets are always going to be at. So first place he always looks is the middle of that field, and then he works his way out, which is as a quarterback is beautiful.
And
Because he knows once that's taken away right there, he knows that's right there.
And
He
that's what
doesn't
I
even-
think.
He doesn't, when
in
he's
that
on it,
first
he doesn't
game,
even look at it.
he didn't
goes
do that.
there, and then he does this. I literally watched him do 3 no-look passes while he's looking at the middle of the field and throwing it that direction right there because he know that man is sitting right there. Like you said, that's a team that I see. Like, forget outsiders been in this game for a long time. They coaches have been in this game for a long time.
And they know their coaches, they know what they're doing.
So they didn't seen some
and,
things.
You know, yes.
And they didn't went in and retooled the outsiders playbook to fit him.
Yes.
Correct.
And that's why they benefit so much because they tooled it to benefit him.
And the other
Forget when
thing-
they had Lano,
Uh-huh.
it was move the pocket,
Right.
doom, everything's short, and then we kill you where? Over the top. You only had one dude that was really going deep on their team back in the day. Everybody else was intermediate players.
Well, they went in, they retooled, and I like what they did. For the most part, they retooled with non-recycled. They went
Yeah.
out and got
Yeah.
new players that they could mold into what they wanted them to be. And so now if somebody goes to the
young
outsiders
players.
team, you have to assimilate to what
Straight
they're
white
doing.
ends.
Straight
You just-
white ends.
You know what I'm saying? And they're good. So I think that's what's keeping them, you know, in the position that they are.
Yeah.
Now, just like with any team, sometimes you can get a little too excited and miss the mark, which would happen in YB game. In the YB game,
Yeah.
he took way too many sacks in that game. He held the ball too long. I think he was trying to, you know what? I think I can do this. Got a little bit, but in that second game, Gene and Reggie got them back. Okay, you finished playing now.
Yeah.
Do what we
Are
say.
you gonna listen right now?
And got it. But now at the end of the game, of course, so he
I'm
throw them
listening
passes.
to them say run the ball.
Gene
Hut.
tell him, and he's throwing.
Like what?
And then they make the mistake and get y'all the ball back.
Yeah.
And it'll go straight down the field deep.
Here we go, Javion.
And I mean, when I tell you it was a hair away from being a touchdown, it was a hair away from being a touchdown. So then they're going back to it. You know that we know we can beat you.
Got
If
to.
Miko can't get there, Javion go get there. But one of them two go get down there. So the only thing you can possibly do to stop that is to sack the quarterback. And that's what they did on the last play, so that he could not beat them down the field. Because without that sack, I'm not sure that the results stay the same. But that's one of the areas that outsiders has excelled in. They rushers are great. Paul, Los, and of course, with the addition of Rook, that pressure's coming. So I'm excited to see them, especially up in Virginia this weekend. I'm going up there. I'm gonna be, my Atlanta teams, all the teams that's going. I'm gonna be right there rooting for y'all. So I'm excited to see them.
We there, but outsiders, man, good game, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I know y'all, like you said, team full of YNs. Everybody, the whole team, talking to my team. I'm like, wait, they all the same age. They like, nah, everybody over there. I'm like, okay, all right. And you know what I'm saying? And they popped their shit after the game. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, can you blame them though? 'Cause
No.
that's an accomplishment.
Right there.
The end zone celebration.
Hey, I'm not gonna say no names.
You just beat
but
the
them
big
boys
bad wolf.
told us that was our Super Bowl, and I said, "Hey, I cannot knock that."
You just beat the big bad wolf.
I can't
you
knock
have to.
it. I can't.
And that type of confidence can go. And then to do it the week before you go on the road, we just beat New Jack. We can beat anybody. Now.
That's true. And
you know
can go
what
up
I'm
there
saying?
and you can go
and you can take
that.
that up there and come back with a title.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that's what happens.
No doubt.
And and just on the other side, that same can go play with New Jack. We just look what happened when we messed around.
Yeah,
we can't do that up there.
Yeah.
We got to focus so we can come back with a title.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And what was the score of that? What was the score?
14-12.
14-12.
Wow.
Y'all. Just let y'all know we missed the extra point to tie the game to go into overtime.
Right.
So we had to come back in this game too. We almost did it. We got another onside kick. We tried. He just barely got to the. I don't know, Javion and I don't know who else was over there. I don't know what they was doing. But he been in that corner and he got to that 20. So It was a close game.
So are you looking forward to this rematch in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, they got to get that though. They 3-3, ain't they? They got like how many more games? They got 4 more games. They got to play like I just want them to be in the playoffs. We'll talk about that once they in the playoffs. Cause I would love a rematch, but I don't want to say nobody in no playoffs and then they show me wrong.
Looking at some of the standing,
yeah, cause I seen 1 and 5s and 2s, and I'm like,
so.
But did you feel? What did you?
I didn't fear none of the game.
No, I ain't said about fear. I know y'all fear that. Now I said, I said what I had a feeling was because typically, let's keep it real, you guys, athletically across the board, usually know that you're more athletic from a team standpoint than your opponent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you feel that this was a more evenly matched team athletically to you guys?
Yes, but I feel like they weren't here with us.
Right.
And that's where we feel that to use this. We wanted to play athletically with them instead of using our minds to beat them. Sometimes you can't beat athletic on athletic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll be the greater moment. Like you got, like I told them in a group, it's a lot of things that go into somebody being on the field. Their mood, the weather, you know what I'm saying? You got the sun beating on you all day. This person playing different than this person. Adjustment, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that go into it. So, like, I just feel like we should have, instead of being more athletic with things, we should have just dump, thought about something, moved here, used another timeout in this situation right here. We had a little time issue in the game too, so you know what I'm saying, that took a lot out from it, but it ain't got nothing to do with us still losing the game. We didn't do things we were supposed to do, and I feel like we were smarter than them, and we didn't use our smarts to win the game. We tried to go athletic on athletic to the end of the game, but in that case, it's always the last person with the ball.
Yeah.
They the last one with the ball. So,
they wanted to beat you so bad, they
Yeah.
knocked themselves out. Trying to beat you.
Yeah, like,
and that's no shit. I called him today and
No,
checked on him.
hey,
He's good.
hey,
but he knocked himself
he
out
knew
to make sure that y'all
if-
wouldn't beat them.
I'm telling you, if Javion catches that ball right there and it turns us up in that moment right there, our energy is still coming from the other game.
And he says, I have to knock myself out to make sure
he went up and
we
got
put
that
the stamp on this victory.
Yeah.
Saying he was okay with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he went up and
Shout
got
out
that,
to
though.
Bankhead TV.
Hey, man, that changed the momentum of the game. You know what I'm saying? It took. We had already on high energy. You know what I'm saying? Something like that happened. You know what I'm saying? We here for a moment, and then trying to get it back. They hyped. They man was on the ground. He just made a good play. He knocked himself out. Like they trying to get some get back now. They feel like we didn't need that to him. So the next time they came out with, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, nah, we not about to get punked. And the film show it.
Yeah.
They said they weren't about to get punked, and they didn't.
Yeah, I like the fact they came in that game with mad confidence. Y'all had a lot of trash talk, but it was a lot of fun trash talk. I didn't see where stuff was personal and all that stuff. It was like athlete versus athlete. Let's go. We young. We ready.
Put your best in front of my best.
Hang.
I want to see it.
And shout out to outsiders, man. They've knocked off
some big names.
Everybody at this point. I don't know who's left for them. You know what I mean? They've done a great job. But
they on a redemption tour.
That's what they said last
They're
season.
trying
They on a
to be
redemption tour.
the first one to do it twice.
Yeah, we'll
You
see
know,
about that.
they come from both divisions, so you know.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
I didn't
moving
know they
right
got
along.
beat by. I didn't before we played them. I didn't know they got beat 22-0. If I would have known they got beat 22-0, I would have
That'd
played
be the
that
mindset.
game. Man, what? Oh, they not coming to just lay down this time. They just got beat 22-0 in the game of the week.
In the game of the week.
All eyes on everybody.
Yes.
Man, look here. Timeout. Timeout. Them boys hungry.
Right.
You got to play them a whole different way. They're hungry. Oh, hey.
Said 10-year redemption.
No, for real.
You
He's not
silly
lying. Gates. You not lying.
Hey,
'cause,
Billy,
like,
your record sucks so far too. By the way, Billy just chimed in.
I'll put my song on here.
All right, let's go, man. We get
Okay, next game on the schedule was Joe World at Georgia Elite, hosting Georgia Elite. Not much to see there. 22-6, moving right along.
Georgia Elite.
Georgia Elite.
Okay.
Georgia
Georgia
Elite making some noise, man.
You guys
Hey.
all picked Georgia Elite.
Okay.
Next game on the schedule, we had Joe World at LOZ.
Oh, this is a game right here.
Okay. So, this is a game. I'm not gonna. Coming up from the comp division
You right about that, D. That ain't y'all's. Go ahead.
and trying to make
Some of
your
them part of
way
it.
in the pro division. Joe World is a defending champion. You know, the pieces changed,
Not
but
defending champion, but past champion.
a past champ. They're a past champion. The pieces have shuffled around, but they're still a past champion. And you're just coming up from the comp division. And I think it's all a fair assessment to say that Joe World has been struggling this season mightily. This is a game you got to win if you're going to make a statement. You can't let a team as wounded as Joe World beat you to be able to come in and make this statement. Unfortunately, this game went into overtime, and Joe World wins 1-0.
1-0.
1-0. And
I don't even want to watch that game.
you know, so I just think we got to go back to the drawing board here.
Who?
LOZ.
Oh,
Well, we know Joe World is struggling.
hey, 1-0.
That's not an issue right now. That's not a surprise.
Damn, we lost to both these guys.
We know they're
That's
struggling,
pathetic.
and we know, so but Angelo, you picked LOZ. Dwayne and Billy picked Joe World. So you took your loss on this one.
I pick LOZ.
You picked
I'm like
LOZ.
Dwayne now. I pick LOZ.
But and it's
There go, John. 1-0, John.
Man.
John, you couldn't give me a field. You couldn't give me nothing. Come on, Big John. Man, I was counting on you, bruh.
And then in the final game of the day, we got LOZ at Georgia Elite. Dwayne, you and Angelo picked Georgia Elite. Billy picked LOZ. Georgia Elite took this game 14-6. So
Georgia Elite on a roll.
Georgia Elite. So that was what I was getting ready to talk about in a hot second. We got to start looking at Georgia Elite.
Yeah.
If YB holds up in the New Jack game, Georgia Elite would currently be the number 1 seed.
Dang.
But now instead they're number 2. After losing over half of their team, coming back with a bunch of new pieces, people doubted them. And now they're 5-1.
Shout out to my boy Coach Smooth, man, and shout out to Montel, man. Montel is taking that team on his shoulders and said, I got it. So
Yeah.
good job, fella. Keep doing your thing,
done that.
man.
I like
Keep
it.
doing
I
your
like
thing, Montel.
You know,
That's big, brother.
We got to put some respect on their name. Montel, Smooth in his coaching, and the players that are there hunger to prove that they belong. So our standings for the week sits as follows. New Jack is in the number 1 position at 5-1.
We lost, y'all. We lost.
Georgia Elite is number 2.
And killed all Miko's preseason
Man,
predictions.
parlay's over with. Parlay is over.
Smoke is number 3 at 5-2. YB is number 4 at 3-3. Outsiders tied at 5 at 3-3. Shockwave is at 6 at 3-3, holding on to that final playoff spot. Virtual tiebreaker. Predators are 7 knocking on the door, waiting for somebody to slip at 3-3. Joe World is on the outside. I don't know that they're looking in, but they're trying to turn in that direction at 2-4. And Rare Form and LOZ think we're reevaluating the team for next season at 1-5.
Yeah, 1-5.
Because I don't.
Hey, LOZ in rare form. Y'all still could be a lot of spoilers right now. Don't,
Oh, no.
Don't give up.
Listen, I'll be dusting that couch off. Come
No,
on,
no,
over
no, no,
here.
no, 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 no,
No, I'm
no,
saying
no.
to make room for somebody
Yeah, but
else.
still
Oh, yeah,
play
yeah.
Give me
ball.
some company.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
play ball though, because a lot of people still trying to get in the playoffs, and if you
That's
got to
right.
play
Come
them,
on home. Come sit down
stop
and watch
them.
them with me.
Have them over there with y'all.
Because, mathematically, they're not eliminated. But with a point differential of
He said, Billy, don't do no more picks.
negative 34 and negative 43, whereas Billy is on the outside looking in with a +1. I think that would be a hard overcome because you have to blow out everybody for the rest of the season. Down in the comp division, the number 1 seed in the comp division, I need to say this loud so that they'll know that I'm acknowledging that they are the number 1 seed, is the Georgia Raiders at 5-1. And the number 2 seed is DOA at 5-1. The number 3 seed is United at 5-1. Number 4 is Paid in Full at 4-2. Number 5, and holding in that last spot of the playoffs, is the Big Swamp Bucks.
What?
They're big again. They the Big Swamp Bucks.
So Paid in Full went from the 1 to the 5, huh?
Paid in Full went to the
That is a
In
drop.
one weekend?
the 1 to the 4.
1 to the 4, okay.
No.
Oh,
Swamp
don't
Bucks-
go 0-2 in there.
Swamp Bucks is holding down number 5 in the final playoff.
Wow.
Zoo is on the outside looking in at 3-4. Right behind them is the Crew at 2-4. TYB is bringing in the rear at 1-5.
Zoo is 3-4?
Zoo is 3-4.
Okay.
So how many teams make the playoffs in the comp?
5.
On the 5.
Only
Oh,
5.
wow. Y'all better
Right
tighten
now,
up.
the Big Swamp Bucks are holding it down.
Okay, Swamp Bucks. Big Swamp Bucks.
Yeah, they can be Big Swamp again.
Okay.
You know, they started the season as the Bucks. Then they moved up to the Swamp Bucks.
Said Luke had 3 picks. Yeah.
Who?
Gates said Luke had 3 picks.
Oh, in that
Against
game
who?
against Predators, I was trying to get lucky instead of playing safe bets. Oh, okay. So now picking for the following week.
Yeah, you never won on the scratch off. Why are you trying to get lucky now? Playing.
So we have, okay, in the first game, we have Paid in Full at TYB.
What it is next
I'm
week?
pretty sure the field, yeah. Pretty sure the field got paid in full. You can probably move on to the next one.
I really might be trying to go for something.
You gonna pick TYB, Billy? They've only lost 15 in a row. I guess the breakthrough got to come through at some time, right?
Yeah, hit that lucky button right
Get
quick.
that lucky button.
The next game we have.
He got paid in full.
Okay. Well then.
No scratch off on that one.
Here's what they call a trap game, a setup game.
Okay.
We got TYB at the Big Swamp Bucks.
You know, I'm not picking TYB. I still ain't picked them. I'm not gonna pick them.
They 1-6.
Name change.
Yeah, 1-6.
Billy,
Yeah.
is Billy? We going with Swamp Bucks here, Billy?
You got Swamp Bucks, Bill. Who you got? 15 in a row now. It's crazy. That's what it is, brother. They 15 in a row. Hey, boy. To keep getting them players to show up, man. Shout out to y'all to keep coming out there, man.
I'm glad y'all love football.
Okay.
I told they gotta get a veteran. They gotta get somebody that understands the game. They got a lot of good athletes. TYB does. I give them that. They got some players. They just
next
gotta.
season they're gonna be different. I've been.
They gotta get
Been
somebody to
listening,
understand.
been hearing. Veterans are coming because they're not Moneyball or
Can't be.
can't be messed with. Well, no, they weren't as bad as Moneyball and what was your team? Your play.
Oh, what was them clown? What was them jokers' name?
I didn't say that. I said that team. He the
Clown name.
But yeah, but Moneyball and Got Game. Yeah, I think TYB could have probably beaten those teams. I don't think they could have beat Can't Be Messed With because they had the athletes. They were like a junior version of Zoo. They had the athletes.
But they're very familiar. I mean, them and Moneyball would probably be an interesting game because I think they're very, very similar.
Who?
TYB and Moneyball. I think they're very, very similar. Moneyball had some decent athletes. They had several guys that was pretty doggone good, but they just had no concept of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what TYB problem is.
In the bag.
Yeah.
Throwing
Leave that Madden playbook alone,
17 times in one game.
Not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
So, okay, here go your first challenge of the day. Dwayne, it's on you. Georgia Raiders at PNF.
Ooh.
Good game.
Ooh.
Dwayne has picked the Georgia Raiders. Angelo.
I'm going with the same pick, man. I watched their game too. I told y'all I was gonna
Really?
start watching y'all games. So
That's gonna be a good game for real.
He got the Raiders.
Okay.
He said he picking safe this week.
Raiders for the clean sweep. Okay, the next game we have the Swamp Bucks at United. Angelo,
I got United.
Billy. Okay. The next game we have the Crew
Billy got United.
at the Raiders. Now, see, this is a game where I feel the Raiders can slip up, looking past them.
Yeah, can't nobody
Not
look
saying
past.
it's gonna happen, but this is the type of game where you look past the team, and then you go home from like, what were we doing?
Yeah, especially some veterans. You can't never sleep on them on a Sunday.
The referee team let the players tell it.
I think the Raiders defense is pretty pretty strong. I'm going to Raiders.
Ooh.
Yeah, good pass.
Way to see the court.
Angelo, you going with the Raiders?
Billy got Raiders.
Okay, so we got Raiders in the clean sweep here. Okay. United at the Crew.
I'm going United again.
Billy, who we got?
What you need? They are. We'll be finished in 5 minutes. They'll be back in a minute. They out in the showroom though. That's what they said they were gonna be at. What'd you say? Did I miss one?
We waiting on Billy. United at the Crew.
United.
Okay. Next we have Smoke hosting LOZ.
Smoke.
Oh, another good pass.
Game 7, here we come.
Yo, gonna pack our bags.
Oh, Indiana could win it?
KC. I mean, 70-42.
All the games been comebacks, but they come back from this, boy.
So they doing. I thought it was over without Halliburton,
Now he playing.
but he ain't.
He got 12 points right now.
Okay. Billy, did he pick Smoke?
Smoke.
Okay. Next game we have Smoke at Rare Form.
Smoke.
Nah, I like Rare Form on that one.
Do you?
Yep.
Rare form with the upset.
Because they
Said
defense.
flip.
They defense. And if you can lead
You know what?
3-3 game, I can see
Listen,
it go into overtime.
I'm gonna tell you just how decent their defense is. Rare Form and New Jack have given up the exact same amount of points this season.
I believe it. I believe
But they
it.
ain't scored the same amount of points.
Yeah.
But defensively, they have the same thing.
3-3 game, I can see it going into overtime.
So their offense is what
That would scare me in overtime because I could see Gas, you know what I'm saying, having the firepower to win in overtime. But if they can get them 3-0, game over.
Interesting.
I like Rare Form on
Dwayne.
that one. You got Gas.
you didn't care nothing about all that.
Billy got gas too.
Smoke.
Angelo?
I already said smoke.
Okay. And the last game of the
You can keep
season,
picking safe, man, because I'm just gonna run away with this from y'all. Just know you. That's
But
just,
I can tell you this. The official elimination game for the Pro Division.
okay.
The loser is officially out. Rare Form versus LOZ.
That's gonna be interesting.
Come on, Rare Farm.
Wow.
I gave you one. So 2-0 next week. Or next weekend. I need it from y'all. 2-0.
If Red Form go 2-0, they help their case of plugging the life support machine back up.
Yeah, I like them.
Rare Form and LOZ, huh?
A hard one right there. They gave it the same amount of points.
What you got, Billy?
Interesting.
Set the tone, Billy. It's on you.
How many points?
Billy
Rare
got
Farm?
Rare Form.
Billy got Rare Form. Dwayne got Rare Form. Okay, Dwayne is thinking about it. He's rescinded his Rare Form.
LOC said, I don't see us
Angelo?
losing to nobody. 1-9.
Man, this is tough. John let me down with
Because the teams are
1-0.
so good, you just don't know who to pick. You got KJ versus DQ. You got Blaze. You got Caleb. Yeah, he was just. They were already expecting him not to be there last week. That was pre-planned prior to the season.
I like Rare Farm.
Yeah, I like Rare Form too, though.
So you got Rare Form too, Low. So then that means that no one has picked any different. So no one's gaining or losing off of this week.
Oh, well.
Hey.
Yeah,
yeah,
well.
gonna walk away with this one.
Okay.
How many
All
more
right,
weeks in the
well.
season? 2 more weeks. 3 more weeks.
It's this plus 2.
Plus 2, 3
So 3
weeks.
more
Yeah.
Sundays
Yeah.
to go.
We.
For a lot of these teams, they only got one more week.
Yeah. Oh.
Because they playing one game.
Dang. Rewind that again, Dwayne. Is this something I need to talk to the ref about?
I heard
What?
it. Wasn't this the chokeout game? Didn't somebody get choked out this? No, somebody got choked out. Hey, somebody got choked out this game though.
No, it was the hit that Billy just took.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying there was a chokeout game though. Somebody got choked.
Talking about the score?
No, physically,
He's about to score.
somebody physically got choked in this game.
When he's snapping it, he need to get hit.
Damn.
Yeah, he did it all day too. They finally
What's the timestamp on this?
He got his.
they finally flagged him in our game because he did that in our game too.
12-4. Okay. Thank you.
Wait, he got a penalty though. He threw the flag. It's right there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, well then, okay.
Yeah, he got the flag.
God dang. That was, woo.
But did it look like he was trying to duck from his elbows though? Because his elbows was in the air. I'm just asking just on the observation.
Yeah, on both
I ain't
of
asking.
observations, it looked like he tore him up.
Oh, okay. It looked like he was trying to get away from his elbows.
Didn't lead with his hands.
Heard.
Yeah. Didn't leave with his hand.
So he led with his hands, but then he put his shoulder down.
And he ain't them hands, unless you got hands growing out your shoulder.
Okay, we just want to hear the commissioner
I'm
say it.
surprised Billy got up. You know, he looked up in there in age.
Oh,
Ooh, was that JL?
that was in the end zone? No, he was out of bounds. Okay, I was about to say,
Good
damn.
follow through though.
L don't
But
count.
yeah, so that's what we got coming up this week. Virginia Beach, we got that coming up.
We on the
got
way.
New Jack going up there. We got outsiders going up there. We got a team representing in each division. We also have some co-ed teams going up there. Small ball teams. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to bring some wins back from Atlanta.
Y'all go down there, represent. Go up there, represent, man.
Got to.
And you will be able to see it.
Billy said he
because-
spun off of it. He wasn't hurt. He used them karate moves.
third-degree black belt.
Billy used that karate moves.
Yeah, Virginia gonna be fun
Billy used them
though.
karate moves twice on Sunday, didn't you, boy?
Choke out, and dodge people.
mess you up.
Hey, you seen the bracket already?
I have not seen the bracket.
Oh, it look good.
Is it out?
It's up.
Okay. I wanted to find it so I could talk about it, but I don't have it.
Yeah, we got prime time, and we got prime time. We beat prime time. We play Up and Smoke at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, that's what's up.
Tune in. Tune in.
Also, again, get your Brawl for It All registrations in. Shout out to APOC. They just paid in full today. Didn't play around with the money. They paid it all. Shout out to them.
Give me those dates again.
The dates for Brawl for It All are July 25th through the 27th. They've been there since January 19th. And it's going to be at Mud Creek and Traymore as usual.
Right up the street.
Well, you cannot bring your money to the field. The deadline is July the 6th. So get that together. And also, we know New Orleans is Labor Day weekend. Again, there's a lot of teams that told us they're going to come to that tournament. We're looking forward to it, and we hope they do come. But we need payment to make sure you know you're coming.
We on the way. Mississippi River.
We got
Yes, sir.
At least half of the pro division has said that they're coming, as well as about 4 or 5 of the comp teams said they're coming. So, and then we got women teams coming. So I expect that to be a great tournament as well. For my first tournament down there, hopefully it will be something that can grow into something major, to be able to continue to branch out with 5-star. So definitely come down there and watch that. If you guys don't have anything to do, if you got some daughters that are interested in flag football, please bring them out on Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the Home Depot backyard. This will be part 2 of our girls flag football clinic. We had it last week, and we got to the halfway point and got rained out. But we will be finishing it up this week, and at the end of the camp, the ladies are going to play a game and play against each other. So if you got some young ladies that want to come out and watch to support them, or if you ain't got nothing to do, come out from 6 to 8 o'clock at the Home Depot backyard on Tuesday and support our girls. We have
On Tuesday
at 6 o'clock, and we have our Team Red, which is coached by Smooth from Georgia Elite, Caleb from Raiders, and who was the other coach? Oh, Allican from LOZ. And they'll be facing off against Coach Kazi, the quarterback from Storm, Loco, and Texas from Storm. So that's going to be a great, great game for those young ladies. We had about 35 young ladies out there. So
You said Texas coaching?
yes, Texas
Okay.
is also coaching.
All right, shout out Texas.
So definitely come support them.
Good deal. Good luck to y'all this weekend, Flip. Go back out there, represent, man.
Appreciate it.
Outsiders, do y'all thing, man. Y'all play like y'all play, man. Y'all should come home with the W as well. Everybody else playing this weekend, good luck. Stay healthy. Again, shout out to the guys, Man and who else got injured?
I don't know his name.
Lando.
Lando. All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Lando. Brennan. I
No.
didn't know that.
No, from outside. I mean, from YB.
Oh, Gino. Okay.
Yeah, Gino.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Gino. I thought they call him Nando or something like that when he be rushing.
Okay. I know you talking about that. All right.
All right. With that being said, man, we got Boogie, got another podcast right behind us, man. ATL Flag Football, 5-Star Sports, and we out.